Hey everyone, it's Stephanie, and today we're going to talk about my favorite white cream nail polishes. So I love white nail polish. I think it looks so beautiful and classy. I think it looks great with my skin tone. It's probably my second favorite color to wear after pink, but I hate white cream nail polishes with a passion, especially using them as a full coverage mani. They tend to be patchy, they tend to be gloopy or chalky, they take forever to dry, and they always get picked up by my top coat brush because that white pigment is just like next level. I don't know. It loves being everywhere and it gets all over my cuticles. I just can't stand it. But I do use white nail polish in almost every one of my manis because primarily I do nail art on my hands. So yeah, the white comes in handy with that. But for today's video, I decided to put myself through hell and test all of these nail polishes for you so I could tell you how they do perform as a full coverage mani and also tell you what I tend to use them for or if I use them at all. I've ordered these nail polishes in approximately worst to best order as per usual, but I do use all of these nail polishes just in different ways and for different purposes. And there are only two nail polishes in this list that I just would not recommend. I will be making a separate video with all of my favorite white Crellies and whites with shimmers and things like that. But today we are just going to be talking about white creams, which ones I recommend, which ones I don't recommend, why I recommend them, and all those other good things. So let's get started. All right, so the first white cream on this list is OPI Alpine Snow. Now, I bought OPI Alpine Snow at, I think, an off Saks. They had a pretty good collection of the OPI standards. So there was this and Big Apple Red and Black Onyx for a little bit of a discount. This at least used to be Kelly Marissa's favorite white polish. So I thought I've got to get this. I've got to try it. So I did. And oh my God, this polish is so horrible. I hate it with every fiber of my being. Now, I am being a little melodramatic here. I think I used to hate it more. So when I got this out to do this video, this was actually in my de-stash bin. I have a bin in my room that if a friend comes over and they're interested in nail polish, I kind of just let them go through. I don't really have any intention of selling them online or anything, but this was in there. It's been in there for a year. No one's ever taken it. So I was like, do I still even have this? And I did. Basically, this polish is just so incredibly thick. And I added an entire dropper, not a drop, but dropper full of nail polish thinner, of Glisten and Glow's nail polish thinner into this polish. And it did end up performing a little better than I remember. But what I remember from its performance in the past was that no matter how much nail polish thinner I put into this, it was just never enough. It just ate all of the polish thinner. And I do have to say that if you do want functioning white polishes, whether they're Milky whites or they're standard white creams or whatever, you're gonna want to have some nail polish thinner on hand. One or two of the other ones were a little too gloopy when I wore them, and I ended up re-swatching them with just a drop of nail polish thinner in them, and they worked so much better. So if you've had a white cream for longer than say a year, maybe just add one drop of nail polish thinner and you'll find it performs a lot better. However, this one, no matter how much nail polish thinner you add, and I don't know, I hate this polish anyway, so maybe I'll do an experiment where I'm can I get to a correct point of enough nail polish thinner to make this polish functional? I've never been able to get this one to work very well, no matter how much I used. It is opaque, but it is chalky, it is dry, it pulls up on itself, and I just think that this is a nightmare to use, and I would never use this for nail art, because when it comes to nail art, I need my polish to be very fluid. I need it to be able to move and not lift up the layers underneath or string up and cause little strings of nail polish to mess up my design. And this would just be a nightmare for that. So this is OPI Alpine Snow. Last time I checked, this is Kelly Marissa's favorite white polish. And on this one, she and I disagree. I hate this one. Okay, so next up is a terrible white cream nail polish that many of you are probably very familiar with because this is Holo Taco's original, not new, reformulated, the one they sell now, but original, not milky white. And again, I added a bunch of nail polish thinner to this. I'll share the picture, but like this was so dry that when I flipped it over, it didn't even like drip down into the other side of the bottle. It was just so stiff, and it was just like, I probably could have like broken the bottle and taken it out and like written stuff on my walls like it was chalk or something. It was crazy, crazy dry. But I did reconstitute it again in like an entire dropper full of nail polish thinner I used in this one. And again, like the Alpine Snow, it wasn't quite as bad as I remembered it being. Like, I think probably I've like built these up as being so terrible in my head. And the thing is, they are both opaque. But they are just like so chalky. They're so thick. Again, I would not use this for nail art. Both this and OPI's Alpine Snow would be terrible for water marbling. I know Alpine Snow because one time I was trying to do a water marble with white and I was using Alpine Snow and I just absolutely could not get it to work because like as soon as it hit the water, it would dry. And when I would try to like bring in the design from the outside, it would just be this big solid ring that wouldn't let me manipulate it at all. So yeah, this is Holo Taco, not milky white. It's not self-leveling. It is opaque, but like honestly, I wouldn't use this, and you probably won't have the chance to use it unless you already own it because it is no longer for sale because everybody agreed that this one was not good. But anyway, this is Holo Taco Original, not milky white. All right, up next we have LA Colors Flurry. So LA Colors Flurry is a very like special polish in my collection because this is a blacklight reactive white. So I tried it on. This is one of those that I said was like a little too lumpy, a little too gloopy. I did not re-swatch this one. I decided to just use a swatch I already had, but I wish I had added just a little bit of nail polish thinner because I think it would have performed actually pretty well had I done that. So the reasons that this is so like low in the list is because, like I said, it is gloopy, it is thick. Also, the brush is an LA Colors brush. They are very, very fat and they are very, very flat, which is not the best combination when it comes to brushes. Like I don't hate it too much, but all the other brushes in this list work better. But what I will say about this is that it works absolutely fine for nail art, and it is the only white cream nail polish that I know of that is blacklight reactive. And they release blacklight reactive polishes pretty much every Halloween. So I have a blacklight reactive white from them and a blacklight reactive black from them. They both glow a pretty similar blue. And I'm sharing a picture of the glow right here. I actually was swatching it while I was watching one of Mediocre Manny's videos. So that was pretty fun. But anyway, the point is that if you are looking for a blacklight effect, either with like a water marble or with just some like painted on nail art, this is a great polish. If not, I'd say you could sit this one out, but I really like it for that reason. So this is LA Colors Flurry. All right, up next is Glisten and Glow's Wedding Gown White. So Glisten and Glow has some amazing cream polishes. So I was super excited to try their white cream polish, just their basic white cream polish. And unfortunately, I was pretty disappointed in this one. So first things first, the formula is very nice. It is self-leveling. It goes on really smoothly. The problem with this nail polish is that, to me, it really never fully reaches opacity. I did 3 or 4 coats on the mani that I'm sharing right now, and I did 1 extra coat on my middle finger. And to my naked eye, at least, that middle finger like never completely got rid of its nail line. This is a nice loose white formula, so I think it'd be really good for water marbling, which absolutely not all whites are good at water marbling. But overall, if you're looking for something that is going to be opaque, this one just really isn't it. So I would go with Glisten and Glow's many other amazing nail polish options and maybe skip out on this one. All right, next up is Cirque Colors Carpe Diem. So I really love this white polish. I really love the idea of it. So first off, it is a white cream. However, it has just the most subtle gold shimmer in it. Like you'll never really notice this on your nails, but I think it does help to kind of smooth out the finish of it. A lot of times a shimmer can help with that with like a yellow or a white. taking a chalky formula and making it just a little bit more smooth. But in this lineup, it didn't really perform as well as the stuff that's like later on in the list. First off, the first time that I swatched it, I did not use any nail polish thinner in it. And I've had this bottle for quite a while. And I've actually gone through 2 bottles of this because for a while, this was my go-to white, mostly because I was trying to get Cirque Senpai to notice me. So I thought like if I did nail looks with just like all Cirque colors, like including the black and white, maybe they would notice me, but they never did. And I was just like, this isn't worth it. It does work fantastically. And after I added a little bit of nail polish thinner, it did apply really well. But I would say for the size, for the price point, and for the payoff, this one just doesn't get to the top of my list. But it is pretty good, and I really like it in my collection. So this is Cirque Colors Carpe Diem. All right, we're up to the final 4, and these 4 nail polishes are absolutely my favorite white cream nail polishes. I pretty much, for nail art or anything else, don't actually use anything else. Well, unless I'm using Flurry, because Flurry is a blacklight reactive one. But I just think that they're all so great. I don't think you can go wrong getting any of these, but one of them is a little more like different than the others. So yeah, you'll see. All right, number 4 is Color Club French Tip. And as you can see, this is like used and abused. And this is another one that I probably should have added a little bit of thinner to before I swatched it, because it didn't come out like swatched too perfectly. It was a little bit bumpy. Like so many of these are just a little bit bumpy. But the thing is that this is basically a 1-coat white. And although I wouldn't use it as a full white mani, it is so good as the base for other kinds of nail art, because especially if you're using it as a base for something like a gradient or something like water marbling, where it's going to completely cover that base layer and you just need basically like a full blur and brightening for your nail, this is going to do an incredible job. And just 1 coat, like you really can't beat that. This is also great for nail art. I find that it goes on smoothly and that I don't have to switch out the polish too much when I'm like using it on a brush. So I think that French Tip is just an incredible all-around polish. I believe it retails for $8, but Color Club does like a 50% off sale at least once a year. So like keep your eyes peeled for Color Club, because you can get these like severely discounted, and I think it's super worth it. So this is Color Club French Tip. All right, up next is the only milky white cream in my collection that I would not classify as a Crelly, and that is Salon Perfect's Pillow Talk. So Pillow Talk is this beautiful, almost Crelly milky white cream, and I really love this polish for 2 reasons. One reason is it's nice and it's loose and it's perfect for water marbling, especially if you have a white base already you're going to be water marbling on top of. This works absolutely perfectly. When I was trying to water marble with OPI Alpine Snow and I couldn't get it to work, this is what I used to finally get my water marble going. Also, this was another one that I swatched and it was lumpy and I was like, why? I added just a touch of nail polish thinner to this and it went on like an absolute dream. Yes, it is milky. Yes, I needed 3 coats, but I think that a full mani of a milky white is so much nicer than a full mani of like a stark white out white if you're gonna go in that direction. It's just a little bit looser than all of my other white creams, and also isn't that stark of a contrast from the skin to the nail. A lot of times when I'm using a white cream polish, I feel like no matter how careful I am with my cleanup brush, it always looks like I've messed up part of it. It always looks like a really harsh line. So if I like make my nail a shape that I didn't intend to, like I just feel like I can't help but stare at it. But with a milky white like this, I just feel like you can kind of like clean up between layers and it gives you like a nice, almost diffused nail line. So I think that like if I were to wear a full white mani, this is probably the polish that I would go for. But it is not quite like my favorite polish on this list. So let's get to the top 2. Okay, so coming up next is the polish I would consider to be my best, like all-arounder white cream nail polish. If I had to get rid of all of my other white cream nail polishes and never buy any of them ever again, I would choose to keep this one and keep buying this one. And this is Orly White Tips. So Orly is the creator, so they say, of the French manicure. So they do have quite the vested interest in making a very good white nail polish. This is a very opaque white. I would say that for some people, it's probably a 1-coater. I do think the Color Club is a better 1-coat white, like a more opaque 1-coat white than Orly White Tips is, but Orly White Tips just has so many other things going for it that really make up for the fact that it's not like perfectly opaque on that first stroke. Orly White Tips is a very smooth formula. It's a very blendable formula. It is perfect for nail art. I assume it would probably work with water marbling, although you might have better luck with the ones that I said were really good for water marbling earlier on. When I swatched my full hand with it, it went on super smooth, at least super smooth compared to other white polishes. And I just think that this one is really, really great. And of course, Orly has these massive 18 milliliter bottles. You can buy it on sale a lot of the times. You can buy it from various discount stockists. And once you have a bottle of this, like, you're going to be going for quite a long time. I don't know about you, but a much bigger bottle of slightly more expensive nail polish is a lot more appealing to me than like a very cheap but smaller bottle, because what is the cost of being annoyed and having to buy your polish again and having to restock it and restock it and restock it? With Orly White Tips, you're only going to have to restock it once in a blue moon. So I think that this is a great all-around choice. You can do anything with it, and I love this one. This is Orly White Tips. All right, after that ringing endorsement, you're probably wondering what's my like number one on this list, especially since like the last one, I guess like at the end of the day would be my number one, but this one performs so incredibly. The only problem that I have with it is the price point, because it is quite high, and that is Mooncat's White Rabbit. So this came with the Mooncat Technicolor Dreams collection, and I haven't featured any of those polishes in any of my other videos, and it's not because I don't love them. That's actually my favorite collection of all time, but it's because the collection itself, like, no individual polish in that collection is my favorite of that color, but using that entire, like, what is it, 11-piece collection all together and how they all go together and are so beautiful together, like, they need to be together for me to love them so much, but when they are together, I love them so much. But yeah, so this is the white that came with that collection. I got it with that collection, and I pretty much only use it with that collection, just to be like, I used just the Technicolor Dreams collection. This polish basically applies like any other nail polish. It was really the only nail polish that, just like picking it up out of my drawer, I was able to just do a nice, beautiful, crisp white mani and have it not look like so stupidly lumpy and gross. It is beautiful and smooth, and if you are looking for a full white mani that is just like immaculate and perfect, this is like the only one I would recommend for that purpose. So if you are looking for like what I would say a fashion white nail polish for your look that calls for basic white nails, this is the one I think I would recommend to you. And this is Mooncat White Rabbit. Okay, so those were all of my white cream nail polishes. I want to remind you that this is not my favorite white cream nail polishes. That would probably just be the top 4. This is just all of them that I have. If you're having trouble with white nail polishes, I would definitely recommend keeping some thinner around, even for like white shimmers and white crellies, because white polish for some reason can just get so thick so fast. So if you're ever having problems with a white nail polish, like, just get yourself some nail polish thinner. I love Glisten and Glow Restore and Thin. It's my favorite nail polish thinner. It works for every single nail polish. It will not dissolve your glitter, and it comes in this little blue bottle with a dropper, which I find works so much better to get the thinner actually into the bottle than like a squirty little bottle does. So yeah, definitely when you're picking up your Glisten and Glow top coat, best top coat in the world, get yourself some Restore and Thin. You will not regret it. Anyway, there you have it. Those are all of the, I wanted to say favorites, but no, they're not my favorites. They are just literally all of the plain white cream nail polishes that I own. They all definitely perform differently from one another, but as you could probably tell from the video, I like most of them for just different reasons. A lot of them just have different pros and cons. Some are better for nail art, some are better for water marbling, and some are better as full manis. So I hope this was helpful to you. The next color series video I'm going to do will be my specialty white polishes, which I'm very excited about. So please stay tuned for that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you had a great time today, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of me and you're new here, then please hit that subscribe subscribe button. Also, please check out my podcast. It's here on YouTube and everywhere else you can get podcasts. It's called Two Lacquered Ladies, and it is a podcast about nail polish that I do with my friend Danny Shout. I'm also on Twitch. I'm also on Instagram. I got a Discord for you crazy kids if you want to join it. We have a really good time there. We watch movies, we hang out, we make jokes, we have fun. It is 18 plus though, so make sure you're an adult if you go in to my Discord. Anyway, I hope you have a really amazing day. Please be excellent to yourself, be excellent to each other, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.